Hey y'all, I just wanted to share something with you guys really quickly about what the Lord just recently shared with me. There's a lot of people that's going to fumble you and then bury you because they're afraid of who might pick you up. Because the idea of somebody else picking you up, they know no matter who it is going to be better than the person that originally handled you. But the fact that they fumbled you, they won't be able to pick you back up because they realize that what you carry is going to be too heavy and too big of a responsibility because you set too many boundaries. But then that means when somebody else picks you up, they'll be okay with your boundaries. They will understand your boundaries. They'll be able to adhere to those boundaries. See, a lot of people are good at trying to make you feel bad for having boundaries. But let me tell you something. Anybody that's quick to jump stupid because of the boundaries you set further validates your boundaries. Let me say it again. If anybody jumps stupid because of your boundaries, it validates your boundaries. Because nobody should be able to come up against you for doing something that you know is good for you, and everybody around you trying to make you feel bad as if boundaries are bad. No matter what the boundary is, I don't care how rash it is, how irrational it may be. The fact that it's a boundary that you need somebody to adhere to. If they showing some type of opposition or issue or trying to make you waver outside of your belief system, whatever the case is, hang it up. Hang it up. Don't waver yourself. Don't allow yourself to be moved. Don't allow yourself to be affected or deeply influenced by other people that just want you to succumb to their wills, their ways. Other people's certain ideas of doing things is very perverse. Okay? And they will project those perversified ways of thinking just so they can eventually get their way. Because you being righteous intimidates their wickedness. Because their wickedness can only work for so much longer if they can't prove to everybody else how unworthy you are. But if they get enough people in their circle to believe that you're as unworthy as they believe you are, everybody else that listens to them will also feel like you're unworthy, and then you're less likely to be picked up and handled right. I'm going to keep this burden boundary under wraps. I'm going to keep this on me because this burden boundary don't only put me in demand, but allows me to be picked up by somebody that can handle the weight. So some people will purposely fumble you and some people will unintentionally fumble you. But the funny part about it is they don't realize how bad they have fumbled you until your boundaries become too heavy. Because your boundaries become a burden for them. And it also becomes a burden for you. But anybody that doesn't see your burdens the way you see them, or at least respect your burdens in the same way you value your own burdens, that is confirmation there's a wedge that has been driven between you. Because clearly God have changed the languages. Okay? There was people that was trying, in the Bible, there's people that was trying to build a building and trying to get into heaven by building this building. God did his business by confusing all of the languages, and they were no longer able to build. But his ultimate goal was because I do not want you trying to get this close to me without having a relationship with me. See, we want people to keep building on us and trying to build with us and trying to project onto us and making us think and believe that all of our boundaries are not our real boundaries. This is something that you're crazy about. Where did that come from? No, it came from my head. It came from my heart. I know you may not understand that because what comes from my head and what comes from my heart don't sound like something that you believe I was capable of. But let me tell you something. I get that. But that's because you saw me in a minimalized vision. With a very small vision you saw me as. Why? Because I look like the last woman that you thought you could play. Because you look like the last man that woman thought she could play. And use and take advantage of. And see as nothing but a second check. A second stream of income. You understand? But when you get wise enough to start asking questions so that you know who they are and you know who you need to be to them, that's when you can create boundaries. Because while you mad about something you shouldn't have a problem to adhere to, this is free 99. So why you got such a problem with it that you got to voice your opinion as if your opinion really matters on what's good and what's bad for my life? You see? And then we entertain people that wants to project on us what's right and what's wrong. But really, do we even realize that it's going to benefit them more than it benefits us? Because we already told them what benefited us. This is my boundary. You can adhere to it, or you can step to the side so something can come in your place and adhere to it. They know that they fumbled you, but they don't want to leave. Because their story with you is not done yet, because they're not done using you up. This ain't no Bill Withers song. You ain't about to use me till you use me up. You're not about to do that. And I'm not about to allow that. If you realize you too weak to deal with the boundary, you too weak to handle the responsibility, walk away. And I'll check you in the next season. This season may not be for you, and I might check you later, and maybe I won't be able to check you later. Because all I know is this. What's good for me right now is not aligned with what you're trying to make good for yourself. Because in this season, this is the boundary that I need to create. This is the boundary I need to have. I need to be able to see things in a much more clearer way. And if you're standing in the way of that, you're standing in the way of God. Because God has his hands on my life. And if you have a problem with me and what I'm trying to press towards the mark of, you got a problem with my creator. Because he's the one that told me what my mark was. So that's why it's important to know exactly who's around you so you don't lose consciousness. Know exactly what's happening around you so you don't lose consciousness. You use consciousness, you become stagnant in your ways, and it will stifle your growth in such a way. You will miss out on your own blessing because you allowed man to close a door God opened. So be safe out there. Be careful out there. Be intentional out there. Also, be very, very unwavered out there. People will sometimes fumble you, whether intentionally or unintentionally. But sometimes they don't do it for a good reason. And when they fumble you, you know who's really on your side depending on how they come back to you. They rather come to you through third party because they're degrading your name. They're defacing your character. They're running your name in the dirt, and they're running a smear campaign. They're trying to kill your image so they could look like the saint while making you look like the monster. And the reason why they do that is because they're afraid of who else will pick you up if they see too much good in you. So I hope that blessed you as much as pondering all of those things blessed me. I truly do love every single one of you. God bless you and God keep you.